I love it, man, and I love it just from a business perspective because it seems like all of these products that you're providing flowed out of your life, right? And that's
Absolutely.
the thing I love, you know what I mean? And I think you mentioned that before we jumped on was you wanted to kind of create an environment or atmosphere to where your that you didn't have to, and I don't know if you said that earlier or before we got on, but basically like you didn't want to have to like put on this mask at this period of time and go to work and come back, but you want to create something that's just a part of you. And like even the outgrow of these products is literally just a part of your life and what you're doing in your life. That's why I love it so much. And I really hope people are paying attention and connecting with it, that we need to create and serve around what we already do and what we already are. It
Absolutely.
makes it easier on us, you know what I mean? And it makes it something for us to be able to that we can do continually because it's what we do, right? We're not
Yes,
putting on
sir.
the front. Like I love to do this. Like me, I love to talk with people. I love to find out about their story and their businesses. And so I love to do this, right? So I can keep doing it because this is me generally when I'm just on the phone with somebody, right? So, but what is it that, you guys do that you love to do and that you want to, that you say, man, I can serve people in this way, you know what I mean? And really think about that. So, man,
Yeah,
I,
I would
I want to
always
go
ask. I
ahead.
would always ask our listeners to, what is it that you would do for free that fulfills you?
Mhm.
Obviously, for me, I would play with my child or play with any children and teach them different things for free because that's fulfilling for me. Because I know in the long run, they won't say that they didn't have, that whether it's a role or they didn't have that person that was there helping them or taught me that didn't. I didn't learn this from. Uh, I didn't understand this growing up. So it's
Mhm.
always important that we understand whatever it is that we want to do for free or that we would do for free that fulfills us. And if we're skillful at it, you
Mhm.
possibly can make a business or some type of, you can start something out of that. Like I said, I
Mhm.
noticed that success was like he engaged with the tablets as we are with
Mhm.
our phones. So, the old school saying, oh, them kids don't go outside no more. They on the tablets all day. They on it. Okay. And then we have parents that say, I wish public schools would, I wish I would have learned this when I was in school. So like I
Right,
just
right.
listen to these different things as well as I
Mhm.
say it myself. And it's like, okay, well, let's create this. Let's create something
Right,
that's
right,
available on
right.
the tablet. So they can still be on the tablet, but at least it's a learning or a resource tool that's going to be able to help them once they put that tablet down and enter the real
Mhm.
world.
Right. So now something that you basically answering your own prayer in
Solution,
that essence,
yeah,
right? You're bringing the
exactly.
solution. Yeah, yeah. No, and
Solution
you're right.
over
We got to do that.
we just got to make more think of more solutions whatever a problem is we I say this, let's not make a problem a issue. A problem is good because on the other end of a problem is a solution. It's just a matter of,
Mm,
are we going to figure out the solution and provide it for others? If it's a problem for
yes.
everybody, then that's a wealth product or service that you can
Yes.
provide that's going to be able to help the masses. So it's just,
Yes.
are
Yes.
we going to make not necessarily an excuse, but are we going to point out what the problem is, or are we going to listen and actually try to take a second to think, how can I provide a solution to help
Mm.
bridge this gap between the ones that are having what this problem is? Now we can overcome that.
And that's a good point because at the end of the day, you that's what you see in life, in regular life right now. From the adult standpoint, you definitely see it in the schools. I was substitute teaching a couple years before, and just kids that you see in general, parents and adults you see in general is everybody sees problems, right? But it's almost like there's a lack of being able to come up to, okay, think through the problem, right? And figure out how to solve it, right? But that is like there's a complete gap there of people not being able to solve problems. And it's not just a young kid. That's not just a problem with young kids. That's a
That's
problem in
adult.
adults
Yeah.
as well. You know what I mean?
I think that's because the distractions, like we said, the phones, the working all the time, we don't have time to sit down and think. You know, that's why we initially get mentors, not necessarily for them to think, but because they've already done it and they lay out a blueprint, they lay out a path to where, okay, rather than us doing trial and error, as long as I'm executing, then I have this mentor, I have this team that I'm working with, I'm a lot more confident in what I'm doing or what it is that I'm trying to pursue. So as long as we make it, it's understood that a problem isn't a bad thing. Let's take the negative term out of problem and just know on the other end of that is a solution. So like when
Right.
things happen, I have a podcast, the Birth of Success podcast, and the slogan was we educate, demonstrate, we demonstrate, educate, and opinionate, because there's a lot of opinions, how to swivel in a time of crisis. So for parents, I have to educate you on different things, such as, well, we talking about stocks. I might give some stock tips or some credit tips, as well as we're talking about current events and, you know, what our opinions are on there. But also we have to demonstrate these things. We can tell our children anything, but if we not demonstrate, if it's not action behind
Right.
what we saying, now we confusing them.
Right. Right.
So, and as I know, for me, having a child, it's always a time of crisis because you just don't know. I don't know if I'm holding them right the correct way. I gotta hold the head up, or can he sleep on his stomach, or, you know, can he eat this type of food? I don't know if he allergic. It's just always you kind of like on edge. So I'm building a community where parents can talk, whether it's the old school parents can give us some wisdom, or it's the new school that can provide, you know, and talk amongst each other and say, hey, my toddler is going through this. What are some of the things that y'all may be doing, or what do you find is useful? How am I able to get my child to eat vegetables? What were some of the things that you all did? You know, so that's something that I feel is very important, that we understand that, you know, a problem is not a negative term. It's always now an
Right.
opportunity for us to find a solution.
Thanks for watching the Lion and Lambo podcast. We hope this clip has been a huge blessing to you. And we want to remind you that we drop new videos, new podcast episodes every Sunday at 9 o'clock. You can find the full episode by clicking the card up at the top right of this video. If you prefer an audio-only experience, then we want to let you know that we're streaming through every major podcast streaming platform. For the full list, you can go to www.lionandthelambo.com. Until next time, go impact the world.